Hello, it is Lord Haywire. Still in my not being able to speak. Uh, I am streaming some 2D 4X right there. Uh, Game creation. This is the 2D 4X game that I'm working on. I'm also working on a Hex Demon game that I don't stream every time I work on it. This one I do. So I loaded this up. What we're going to be working on is this research panel here. It's supposed to do stuff. The thing that, though, right now, oh, now it's working. That's funny. So when I started this, the spacebar wasn't working. Let's hit space and start again, and then I'll go over exactly what we're going to work on, and I'm going to do something like this dumb way. Whoops, this dumb way. Look, we're getting like a warning. This is so this is 4.2. Invalid corrupt pipeline cache. What? What does that mean? Let's Google this shit real quick. Here's our thing. We're gonna add some things to this too in a second here. Godot invalid or corrupt pipeline. CNP. So I just upgraded this to 4.2, so maybe that is a problem. Probably during the pusher import. How do we fix it? How do we fix it? Reload current project. I had a feeling there was something. What was that under? Unity had the same issue. Project. It actually happened all the time in Unity, where you would upgrade and something would be busted. And then in a second here, we'll deal with this probably in a second. But let's just see if that went away. No, it's there still. And then the buttons still work, and the research button still works. And then if I close this, space still works. It's kind of interesting. Or starts working again. It just when it first starts. What is this action? This is the same invalid corrupt. I wonder why, if that would affect the other thing. Let's just ignore it for now. That's what we like to do. Just ignore the problems. I actually am not into that. I'm very into just fixing the issues the minute I see them. But okay, this person sounds like something more that here we go. Seems like an error with the running. Try running incompatible. Click on the forward plus button. I think I'm not in that mode. Let's switch to it and switch back. Maybe that will solve our issue. The cat is very eager today to do something. It's flipping out, in a cat way, not in like a bad way. It's running around chasing its tail and shit like that. I used to have this on. I think we only need the mobile version, but we'll run it in here and see if we get the same bug. Wow, this takes a lot longer to load. Is it going to load anything? I made a copy. Okay, I get the same error. I made a copy and we still can't. Spacebar doesn't work. Of the project, just in case I wanted to roll back to 4.1, and maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll open it in 4.1 and see, because it's actually pretty easy in whatchamafuck, Godot to do that. Like Unity, it would be a fucking disaster. It stopped doing it. The spacebar still doesn't work, so that could be a different issue. But it stopped doing that debug thing, so then whatever. We've solved all of our issues. We can go home for the day. What's going on here with this 8? What is that? How did I get on this scripts page? Anyways, so what we're going to do is one of the things I wanted to do last time. Well, let's first update this. Well, no, we'll go over everything and we'll see why this isn't working after that. No, we won't. We're going to ignore that for now. So I have this research. So basically in the game, if we open up this research control, We're going to have 3 research items for now. Later on, we'll have a fucking shit ton of them. But right now, I just want to do 3 basic research items. And what I was doing last time was I was saying I wanted to turn these, we were going to either write it as a JSON, or I was going to use a resource for this. But I think that's going to hold me up because I don't know shit about resources, and I need to figure out how resources work. So if you compare a resource to a scriptable object in Unity, scriptable objects aren't really meant to be like, they're data containers, and from what I understand, I don't think they're meant to be like you use them to like change variables all the time. They're supposed to be this thing that you just load into your game. Because if you change the variables, they stick when the game's not playing. So, or I mean, after you say you're done with the game, not saving it. So if you just in the game, it would the changes would have happened to the scriptable object. And I think that's how resources work too. I watched a tutorial about it. And so I just don't want to get into that right now. Instead, I want to just have this working, and then we can put another round next time we get back to research, because we're going to be doing shit with research for a long time. That's a huge part of this game is research. So and when I say round, what we're doing is we're doing the most basic shit, and then we're going to do everything again, and but add a little bit more, and then everything again. So I always say it's like a circle or a spiral, a good spiral, not like a downward spiral. So that is the plan today. We're just going to have 3 items. We're just going to add in 3 items. And then just with a fucking list. We're just going to use a list. That'll just the easiest. That'll be fine. I don't know what I was doing here. Oh, this was going to be our JSON thing. But we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to leave this stuff, and we'll deal with that shit later. Because I'm also working on another game, and I also do like tutorials. Now, I don't make the tutorials. I watch the tutorials online in between when I stream, because I usually only stream this on weekends. And so hopefully at one point I'll have a better grasp of how to do this. And right now we'll just keep with the basic shit. I just got to keep moving forward with the basic shit. I swear to God, I added this to the git ignore and it's not working. I swear to God. .vs. It doesn't like it. .godot. I mean, it's a hidden. I wonder if that's why. It's because it's a hidden folder. Well, we'll deal with that later too. But the first thing we got to do is update this README to say that it is version 4.2. And if you've helped me through chat or comments or whatever, and you want, I'll put your name up here. And I've decided to also put a link if anyone wants a link here, just to try to help out, get some love to the people who have helped me out. So I also hate all these things down here, so we might go through that and try to do that. But let's make these like real items. So we need like a fishers. Let's look at what we had before. We had like a fucking shit ton of these, and I don't want it to get as crazy and out of control and ugly as the last one. So we're going to keep it simple right now. What did we call this? This was UI stuff. I've kind of changed how I do things. UI research items. We don't need that. I think it was actually in world map load, which was like my script that had everything in it, which I'm trying to get away from doing this time because it's kind of out of control. But we can just copy over. Yeah, Fisher's Shack, Forester's Shack, and Gardener's Shack. Those are the 3 things that we're going to use. And we actually could set up this. What did I call this one? Altex. Let's set up this public class as well, called Altex. And create new script. And what I'm going to use this for is so I don't have to dig around and find stuff. Where are we putting this? That's where I want it. So I don't have to dig through the code to try to find the text. I can just go. All of the text should be in here. I don't know if I need a partial. I don't think I do. And then what we can do is the same thing I had over here. This one is going to call, we had one that was like public. You know what we can just do is copy and paste. We don't have to type anything. We can be extremely lazy. Public classes, all text. We can just bring this over. I'm looking at what my shit is there. There we go. We got a bazillion names. Do I put descriptions in there? Let's see. I did have descriptions in here, so we can also bring these descriptions over. And when we get to it, we can add these other ones. Right now, we're only going to add in 3 because we only need 3 for our testing. So there we go. This will make life easier for this part where we have this. We can just go to the first one. All text dot building name Gardener's Shack. Is that what I know I did Fisher's Shack before with a P. It's like I'm at work. And then we can put this thing to all text building name not building name, description. This should probably say building description. Fisher Shack. There we go. And then I think these 2 bools need to be changed. One of them needs to be, this needs to be, actually these both need to be true. And this needs to be true. And then we'll just copy this. Whoops. Don't really know how that happened. And then we'll change this to whatever was. What did we do next? I'm just going to keep this. Whoops. We don't need that. Keep this. Oh, we should probably add to this thing. We should probably add, well, it's more over here. But spacebar doesn't work when first loading the game. I'm betting there is something that is grabbing the focus, and that is the problem. There's something that is holding the focus of the thing, so when you're hitting spacebar, it's actually applying it to some button somewhere or something. I would bet that is what's going on. Or it could be something I have not even thought about. Okay, so we got to go back to this thing on my other screen that you can't see. Then we'll go to this thing. And so the next on the list should be Forrester's Shack. And this can be, and these are just, we want Shack. These are just temporary names, and we'll change all this stuff. This is one of the reasons why I kind of wanted in another script of it's a public class, because then we can find all this stuff and just start changing it, and then Gardener's Shack. There we go. All of these are true to begin with. We're just going to do it this shitty way. I'll leave this stuff here. Actually, I'm going to put it down here for now, because this has good information on how we were reading files, because we're going to have to do that. We're going to comment this out, and I'm going to put in a note at the end here for reading from JSON or text. And that will work for that crap. And we have this show happen. We have on ready. This is going to happen. So let's just run it, even though nothing really should be seen. We just want to make sure that there's no implosion of stuff. That is, whenever I make any change, I'm keeping an eye out for like something that's holding my mouse there. It doesn't look like it. So That is paused. So I hit space right there, and then was it paused before? I don't know. Now it works. It's so bizarre. We'll look at that later. Something's always got to be broken. Hmm. It's like that thing doesn't know it's there. It should be on the clock. All right, now I got to look at it real quick. I'm just going to look at it real quick and then we'll get back to the research part because I don't want to be bogged down with this shit. Let's see if it even detects that. Yeah, it doesn't even detect that. That's weird. It doesn't even detect that that um, spacebar is getting pressed at all. Doing the same thing I did yesterday. Yesterday I worked on my other game though. We need to be looking at player controls. You know what it probably is? What does that button do? It used to click through to that, I thought. Maybe, there we go. Equals true. I bet you it's set, because it was set to be false to start with, so the player controls were turned off. That would be the solution. Bam. We're fucking gods of programming, right? Done. We just mark this done. Close issue. This is public, but I'm the only one who works on it, so I just close that shit. I don't put comments in like a terrible person, like a terrible programmer. Okay, so back to the research thing. When the research panel opens, so let's pop this thing open. We are going to have research item v container. This is the thing that we're setting up so we can instance it. We're only going to do it once. Let's first do this. And I actually figured this out in my other game. See, like when I work on the other thing, it helps on this one too, and vice versa. So the hugest bummer, and it's actually really demoralizing to me, is that all the stupid little shit that I'm learning now, I already went through this whole process with Unity, where I was a complete dumb fuck, and now I'm back to, and I was finally getting confident that I was less of a dumb fuck, and now I'm back to being a dumb fuck, and it's like I said, it's completely demoralizing, and it makes me sad when it's happening, and then I gotta like continue working on this. The good thing is that because I want to stream every weekend, it forces me to work on this. Otherwise, I might just abandon. I'm really into abandoning games. I've started like 30 games, and these two. So I've decided that 2D4X has to be completed, or Hex Demon has to be completed before I start another one. And when I say completed, just like good enough to go onto Steam, which that is very, very far off with all of them. So what are we gonna do here? We got this added, and then we want on visibility change. So we're going to go back to this thing and we're going to put a signal in. And the signal is going to be for this. We're going to put a signal. Oh, we already have one. Can we put a second one? And we're going to call it. We're going to put it. Where is this script actually? Is it sitting on here? It is sitting on here. That's where I want it, I think. We're going to call it private. I don't think anyone else is going to be accessing this. On visibility change. And we're going to put in here just a GD print to start with. I got a baby step to this thing. D changed for the research control. I got a baby step my way through fucking everything. Then we'll copy this. And we'll go to, I can hear my computer struggling to get its act together. We don't need advanced. We need this to go. No, we do need that. We don't need that. This. You piece of shit. I would like for that not to happen. All right, so we should now be able to hit play here. And when this goes up, we should get a, yep, that is perfect. That is what we wanted. Then we're going to do something else, which I'm going to actually pull out from the script that I wrote yesterday. That is on my other game. Now I got to remember where it was. It was under, what were we opening up? What were we trying to do? We were doing a demon namer. Where did I stick that? It's gone. Demon namer. Where did I put it? I'm looking over here. This is all very bright. Was it in Demon Spawn? No, I had a script called Demon Namer. No, that's a completely different thing. I wonder if I was saving like to this one. No. Where did my shit go? I probably saved it in some weird spot and I didn't notice. Sadly, I'm pretty sure it was Demon Namer. Sadly, game scenes. Fucking me. I have no one to blame but myself for this. All right, we're going to cut this. And we're going to paste that there. And then, you know what's going to happen? When I open up Hex Demon, the world's going to fucking freak out. Because alright, can we undo you? Let's just do it from the, we're just going to open up Hex Demon real quick. Which is my other thing. Oh, and did I update this after all that talk? I'm just going to move this over real quick. Instead of wherever I accidentally saved it to. Hex Demon, it was in game scenes. We're going to move this to scripts. Then we're going to close this thing. We just needed it for that. Then we're going to open this. Oh my god. All right, so we went through all that because I couldn't remember how to do this, and I figure it would be easier if I copied and pasted the code from the other game. But that's all we needed was is visible true. And then we can also put an else in here. Nope. So what we did there, what we're going to do is, so if on visibility change, if it's true, we will see this change to true, and then we'll put another one down here. Oh, I'm trying to train myself to not to do that. And we also could have put it in as a variable, but it doesn't matter. We're just gonna want to make sure that each step works. And perfect. Of course, we got that wrong thing here. Motherfucker. I always select the wrong thing down here. Always. Oh, you know, it's very quiet. Let me turn on some music. I know you guys can't hear it. Don't want to get copyright issues on Twitch. I hit play. It didn't. Oh, I gotta hit play again. There we go. All right, so on visibility change, we're gonna need a couple of things. First, so we're gonna have it go. It's gonna be a for loop, and it's gonna go through and it's gonna create these. So let's double check what we did last time. We don't need this running. What we did last time should be, we have one of those. If we make a duplicate, yeah, that works. It's kind of touching. Oh, it's not touching. Yeah, that actually works exactly how I want it. So we're going to turn this into a scene, and we're going to load the scene in. Currently, it just has the name of the research item. Oh, that's what we were talking about last time, too, was seeing if we wanted to use a checkbox or a switch. And so let's add that in there. We're going to need, it's a button itself, because you're going to be able to click on it. But right now, we don't. So what was that thing called? It was like a Joker. How's it going? How's your morning? What was that thing called? It was a checkbox. There was another thing. Oh, check button. I think I'm going to end up using the checkbox for now. None of these things are things that are going to last forever. They are just temporarily here. I can't see it though. I probably have to tell it to, I want it to be over here. Oh no, it's there. It's very dark. Exactly. That's actually 100% what I'm doing. This shit is ugly as fuck. But it's got to work first. Can we make this thing bigger? Just out of curiosity. Layout. This is the control. Button release. We want that. Button release is always the way to go here. Actually, what does it look like when it's disabled? We want it disabled. We don't want them to be able to fuck with it. So it doesn't even really matter, but because we want it disabled to start with. We don't want any text. What happens if we put text in here? Oh. And then what does it look like when it's checked box? Okay, so we actually want this checked, but we're not going to do it manually. We're going to do it with, this will be fine. You know what? I bet you the way I can make this bigger was, oh. Oh, I probably got to do it with the minimum size thing. That was the control, though. That's not this. No, it is this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be bigger. I don't know why I'm fucking with it. I just get curious. One of my friends got a new kitten, and she sent me a picture of it, or a video of it, like looking out the window, And then it decided that it was going to go out the window to see what was out there. And she's like, how stupid is this cat? It almost fell out the second story window. And I was like, that's why they, there's that curiosity killed the cat thing. Um, it was lots of pictures. It was like 1,000 pictures. Probably much more than that. How many frames have I done in the past 30 minutes? 145,000. I don't know what frames. I mean, I guess 60 frames per second is what I meant. And it was like, yeah, a few hundred pictures. Okay. So we have this thing that we're going to turn into a scene. And we're going to instantiate it. I know that there's a button, attach script. Do we need a script? Maybe. I don't think so right now, though. Make root scene? No, that would be devastating. Oh, I remember how to do this. You got to just drag it in here. We can just drag it into... Is this going to be graphics? No. We're going to have like a bunch of UI. Oh, we already have some. We'll just put this in here. And I actually want it to be called UI item. I'm going to say button. Then we're going to delete it. I hope. Delete node. And then this looks like nothing. We're going to need this open wherever I put it. And we're going to copy this. We're going to need this. It's funny. That's why I paused. I was like, am I deleting the right thing? Earlier today, I opened up, I wanted to make a copy of this so that I have the older version. And this was highlighted, and I went, Control C to copy, and then I do Control V to paste, and this window comes up. Stop. Okay, I was too slow. But it kept counting up, and I was like, what is it doing? And then it said, hey, do you want to delete this, or do you want to move this system file? And I was like, what? But see, this was actually highlighted down here, and it was on the C drive, so I almost made a copy of my C drive. I don't know. And I even looked. I was like, this is highlighted and weird. And I use Windows like every day, all day at my work. That's fine. Who the fuck knows? Especially on this computer. Occasionally, like the tab key just stops working. I need to reinstall Windows from scratch is what I need to do. And I'm not saying that was a Windows issue. It was probably a me issue. All right, I got to remember how to do this, though. And we can pull this. God damn it, I did it again. When I first started programming, I installed the Linux subsystem, and it was using Linux because I also was messing around with JavaScript, which I hate. Well, it's kind of cool. So we need to load this scene, and I can't remember how to do that. I guess I don't have it on my clipboard anymore. It is called UI scenes. Okay, we're gonna need this. And I have this actually once again in my other game. Why are you flashing at me? On any of these, this makes life easy that I've already done it. I think I have it on this one. I do. So we can copy over this. And we can just copy this shit pretty much straight up here. We're gonna edit it, of course. Yeah, I knew. So earlier, I was like, oh, it's right in this script. It was actually just to find this line too. So it was kind of like a lot of work for anything. Anyways, I had saved the script yesterday in the wrong spot. So I was like, where the fuck is this? All right. So this is going to go here. And this is, nope, this is going to go here. And this is going to be called, what did we call this thing? UI research button. We can take the whole thing. And we're going to put that here. So now we have a string to the path of the UI. It's a nice long variable name like I like. And then we get, wait, it's over here. Where's my little thing? Then we're going to go, we can actually do all of these. We're going to bring all this over, all this code over. This is going to be in its own little thing. And we'll call it create research item buttons. The longer it is, the better, right? Okay. We're going to need this to be called research item. And then we'll put this path in here. UI. And then we'll put, is it a character body? No, it's a, what is this thing? It's a control. It's a panel container. So we're going to make this a panel container. Whoa. Container. And we're going to make this a panel container. Is this a weird way to do it? Then this is going to be called research item. And then this is going to be called we'll call this research item scene, I guess. And then we'll call this research item. And then then it should create an empty one of those. Let's test it just to make sure. Well, that's actually not going to do anything. We want to put, God damn it, I don't know why I can't. We want it on visible here. And and it was a number of lines too to get the nothing to happen. It's that's like the goal of half of my stuff. I feel like is I do all these tests and that most of them, they do nothing for the game. Okay, so that's busted. We need to fix that. That needs to be centered. So let's figure that out. What happened here? Can I drag? Oh wait, you know what I can do? And I've never done this, so this is a good thing to do. Instantiate child scene. Oh no, I don't want it to open. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I can just close and open it. Oh, I guess it is on visibility. That gets visible. Yeah. So I think I'm trying to remember. I don't need. I'm trying to remember how I set this up last time. I don't think we need a minimum because it's going to be forced to the size. All right, there's the thing, and there's this thing. Okay, so it's definitely this thing that we got to fix. Let's see. So when they're getting instantiated, they're causing that. Oh, where is it? Where is it getting instantiated? Maybe it's being put in the wrong spot. Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's getting put in the wrong spot. That's God damn it. I keep opening the one on the other screen. All right, so this is easy to fix. We can go up here. We don't need this. And I'm going to get rid of this actually because I just keep looking at it and I don't like it. We're going to put it down here with this thing for when we do. No, I decided, Joker, to do this the dumb way for now, just so that it does, I can keep going forward. Okay, so this is what we need here. Is we need a private. What is that thing? Uh, horizontal, vertical box, V box. Oh, there it was. I hit something. I guess I hit a B. And this is going to be called research item parent. And that's all we need there. And then we go right here. So I have this theory that humans actually aren't intelligent. And people are like, what? That we're just good mimic machines? Like we're just good at like mimicking and thinking about stuff, and you always hear like, wow, they made this and this this great discovery and it was an accident, and that's like more proof to my theory that humans are actually not intelligent. We learn from our parents and we mimic them, and then like when also like when things are invented, it's a lot of it's like, well, two people were in different countries were working on this at the same time. They didn't know each other, and then they came up with it. It's because they were like their mimicking ability was kind of slightly malfunctioning, but it was everything else had built up to that point that that's the next thing they discover because it's not. I know you're thinking, what the fuck? It's not like a serious theory, but like it's weird when you meet people and all they do is like quote movies and stuff, and you're like, you're like that's their whole way of communicating, and you're like, huh, is this person actually intelligent? And then like I just started, the more I thought about it, is anyone actually intelligent? I know it's not a realistic theory, and I have no way to test it or back up or do anything. Well, now it's gone. Oh, you know why? We got to put this in here. Um, you know what? I forgot something. Yeah, so this is another theory that I have no proof or anything. That I just like. So I like to think about the like weird shit, Like I think everyone does that, not anybody who's no one's intelligent, so obviously they don't know. Uh, so the whole Elon Musk. buying Twitter, and then uh, him not knowing how to run it, and he was kind of like accidentally um, got this thing. Not accidentally, he spoke too much, and then he got this thing in like Saudi Arabia, gave him money and stuff. My theory is that, and there's once again no proof, and it's just a wild conspiracy theory. And I'm not like a conspiracy theory dude. I just like occasionally think about when I'm reading news stories and stuff. I'm like, huh. They just wanted it to read people's private messages on Twitter. Because that's my theory. That's my whole theory. They didn't give a shit about anything else. They just wanted to read people's private messages. Because think of all the people who've accidentally posted public messages on Twitter that have been devastating for their careers and stuff. Now imagine you could read their private messages. Like, what are these people typing in there? Like, what? What? And if you could read their private messages, holy shit, the blackmail material will be out of there. Anyways, every human being relies on and is bounded by his knowledge and experience to live. This is what we call reality. However, knowledge and experience are ambiguous, thus reality can become illusion. People live their lives bound by what they accept as correct and true. That is how they define reality. But what does it mean to be correct or true? Merely vague concepts. Yeah, no, that's totally true. Like money is a weird thing that we just all agree that it's worth this much, and it's actually worth nothing. You know, like this piece of paper is worth nothing, but we're like, no, it's worth something, and it's weird that we've all agreed to that, but we don't agree to other things. Like there's, it's a bizarre reality is yeah. We're getting into the philosophical talks now. We had another in my video game stream. We started talking about like drug reform. We're playing a video game and we just got sidetracked, and it wasn't a very productive talk, but we did talk about it. So one of the things I got to do here is make this not show up. Yeah, isn't it weird that we all agree that money's worth something? And then there's places that can be like, nah, I'm not going to take that money. And you're like, okay, you're agreeing this isn't worth anything now. And what I mean is, like, if you go to a store with $100 bill or something, they can say like, nah, I'm not going to take that. I don't have any way to like break that. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go through. I do that not every time, every half a time when I'm doing a for loop, 50% of the time. So for each one, and this is only going to work with 3. Like if we do 4, the fucking thing's going to break. So this is not a very good way to do this. So we're going to test this now. Yeah, one of my friends is very much into the idea. So there's our 3 things. That humans don't have free will. Like he's very much into this concept, and he comes up pretty regularly. Like once a month, we'll be talking about something, and so basically, you're just a product of. Have you ever watched The Good Place? There's a scene in that's identical to this conversation I've had with my friend multiple times. Basically, you're just a product of your environment, how you were raised, whatever. So you don't really have free will to do it. You don't even know you don't have free will. You're just you're doing what has been into there. You know what I mean? It's weird. I don't even, so like discussions like that don't even matter. Like it doesn't matter if you have free will or not. You're still going to live your life. So I hate having like big bills because I'm so used to going to like markets and stuff, like mom and pop markets, and they hate them. And when I worked at like Kinko's, FedEx office, people would come in with $100 bill, and fucking your drawer would be devastated because no one pays with cash anymore. All right, so that worked we need to now do a little bit more to that. So how are we going to do this? Actually, this shouldn't be that hard. We could either stick a script on there. Which thing did I say? Oh, that it was going to be easy. Oh, I did. I did. And that happened yesterday, too. So we can stick a script on here, or we can get the child. So I was always admonished in the Unity thing to not get children. So the child, because you can't rearrange your children then. So this would be the button. We don't actually want the button for this. Well, we could. We would want, so we would have to do, I think this. What is there text? What is it? What is this thing called on a button? I think it's text, isn't it? It is text. With a capital T. It's not there. So I've had a lot of issues with the get node thing. And so I've like given up using it. I try to avoid it now. I was like for like an hour one day, I could not figure out why the node was not working. The get node thing. And so I just said fuck it, and I went back to get child. We can try it though. Maybe it will work this time. I don't think I need that then. Let's do get node. Get node, and then I gotta do, I can't remember how this works. Let me find one. Get out of here. Let me find one. Get node. Oh, I'm not using it at all in here anymore, huh? But, oh, I'm using the wrong thing. It's this thing. Okay, thank you. I was thinking it was the things first, the non-pointy things, the non-brackets, not brackets, whatever they're called. I suddenly can't remember what they're called. In this thing, actually, I just have it called button. Name. What did we call this? Research name. All right, let's see if it works. Yeah, I've had like I don't know like if it's obviously something I'm doing. It has to be because everyone else uses it without issues. All right, so we got the forest shack, the fisher's shack, and the garden shack showing up. See, it was easy, right? I don't know. It worked this time. Now I don't like this being called research items. Let's rename this to list. And then we'll get node. So this is the thing that's weird, is it works sometimes and then other times it doesn't work. At least that's my experience, and I can't figure out why it works sometimes. And you know what I was thinking? I honestly was like, so this is on my Hex Demon game. Like the goblins it would work for, but my demons it wouldn't. And I was thinking maybe like when I named it, I had a space at the end or something. Like, will it allow you to put a space in there? Yeah, like something like that was happening. So that would change its name, and I just gave up. What is this thing? A checkbox. I just said fuck it at this point. What is the name of this thing? This is So it's this is another work story. It's interesting. I notice people who are younger put a lot more spaces at their end of the words, and I was wondering if that was a phone thing, um, like unnecessary spaces. And what is this called? This is going to be called button pressed is what we want. And actually, we don't want to just do that. We want an if in here. Uh, Equals true. I mean, this is gonna, whoops, wrong equals. This is gonna fire for all of them, but in the future, we'll need that for the future. So let's see if this works now. Yeah, so I don't know what the deal. I like, there's a few, like, occasionally there's generational stuff in IT where you're like, huh. I mean, that's what we want it to do. It's pretty ugly. um, then we need to delete those, obviously, when we're on visibility change else here. We don't need this anymore. We need to destroy everything. Destroy research item buttons. And I make this consistently long. And there's a way to do this too that should, I'm going to say it again, should be relatively easy. If we go like, if we go 4 child, is there a child count in this thing? Get child count. That's not what I want though. I want I is less than. And then research get child I. We need some brackets here. Parentheses, that's the word I was trying to. Then we're gonna free this fucker. We're just gonna cut it free, I think. And then this needs to be, we don't need this anymore. Destroy. Cursive, man, I hate cursive because I'm left-handed. Look at that. The thing is that I don't know why that's a thing. Like, why people care about cursive. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? So for me, like, when I use cursive, my hands all like covered in ink or whatever. So as a left-handed person, I hate it anyways. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, it kind of worked. What happened here? So there's a joke that whenever I meet other left-handed people, I ask them if they've ever heard of Kill Righty Day, and that's the day that all those left-handed people are going to rise up and kill the right-handed people. It's going to happen. All right, what happened here? So it starts with 0. Destroy research items if visibility equals true. Were we getting errors? No errors. What was this? Um, let me look at this again. Let's put. Oh. No, that's for the list. Okay. Uh, all right. Get child count, but I want to have. I want to print this out. Close enough. Let's see. Because is the count wrong? Like, not maybe it's not wrong, but maybe I don't understand how it works. No, there's 3 in there. We can also look at the remote here. So when I close this, there should be 0. I didn't put that in. Let's look at the remote and see what it says here. Yeah, there's 1 still hanging around. Um, I have only written a couple of for each statements, and so I don't feel comfortable with them. So I should probably write one. Uh, let's do that. Let's try that. So we could go for each. I don't even know. I gotta look up how they look. Let me look here real quick. For each C sharp. I just needed to see an example. So we should be able to go for each. Let me move this over here, actually. I got to change my music, too. It's playing the Dead Kennedys. I like every time they come up, I say the same exact thing. I like the Dead Kennedys, but I listened to them so much in my youth that I've permanently burned myself out on the Dead Kennedys. For each. So I could put var in there, but it's what is this thing? It's a panel container. Research item in. Well, I even with its help, for each panel container in research. See, I don't think this is working the way. See, I don't know how to do it. Child. Like, how do I know it's babies? How do I know? Tell it that it has fucking babies. I actually have I've done this in. Really? I feel like, well, get children. So does this return a? Oh, it does. I was gonna say, does it return a list or something? And it does. It returns an array. Okay. And then we just say research item free. Why are you upset? Well, let's see what it does. If it blows up in my face, that's okay. So that was another thing that I stopped using was the queue free thing. When I was queue freeing, they would always leave one behind. They would do it like the next time I did stuff. Well, let's try it. Queue is one of my favorite words because in English because it's fucking ridiculous. Look at that shit. There's all these rules about Q's and U's and E's, and look at that. It just fucking it's like a punk rock word. It doesn't give a fuck about anything. It's like I'm a word that sounds like a letter that I start with that letter. Yeah, that works. So let's read the description here. Well, fuck, I did it again. Oh, god damn it. Now I click sign in. God, now I can't even. I clicked like the wrong thing 6 times. Okay. We've accomplished me clicking on things. What does this thing say? So what was I don't remember what I was doing, but I had to get rid of Q free and just use free. And I forget. Oh yeah. I don't know what I was doing, but Q free wasn't working, so I switched over. But that it works for this. Yeah, no, English is crazy. One of the things so I used to write all the time, um, and one of the things I like about it is that there is probably a word for everything that you're possibly thinking of using. Like every thought you've had, there's probably an English word for it, because it's been pulled from some other language. The problem is that some of them are so uncommon that it's like a like a vocabulary test if you use them. Um, yeah. All right. We have this. This is working. I guess we're done for the day, right? How long I've been? An hour and 8 minutes. Jesus Christ. Well, it's a good time for a break, and we haven't had any major issues except for the weird pausing thing earlier. But it's not pausing right now, which is great. All right, next we're going to work on is clicking these things. So you'll click these, it's going to bring up a description and some other information. Back from I can't even pronounce it. Schreiden, I can probably, it's another German word. Schravenfrau, Schiedenfrau. Oh, is this I don't know if this was the word I was thinking of. I turned on some setting where um, websites couldn't take control of the sound of Schreidenfraud. There we go. Of my browser because like one website like started playing sound when I went to it and I was like, what the fuck is this? 1997 or something? And so I turned that on and I didn't know it was gonna also like fuck me so hard other times. But now I've just like I'm okay with like just not being able to hear sound unless I go to like these specific things. Anyways, I'm gonna take a quick break. We're making good progress here. Joker, you weren't around earlier, but I offered if you want, so I don't know where it is. Since you have been so extremely helpful here, here's my README. Originally, I was putting people's names in here that were helping me, and I can add your name to this, but I also wanted to add a link if they wanted. If you want to have a link on here, I mean, I know no one's gonna look at my fucking GitHub, but let's say someone did, there would be a link to something, as long as it's not, come look at my giant dick or something. Uh, the link, I add your name in, and that goes for anyone else in the chat who's helped out, because there's been many people in chat who've helped out. But I am going to go take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me stop my music, and let me put up my break timer, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. It is down there. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna roll my chair over this cat. Come on, kitty. Why you gotta lay there? He just wants to be near me. Sometimes I think that is what he wants. He's a weird cat. I think he's been abused or something. Uh, awesome. Do you want me just to put your YouTube channel on there? I'm gonna put it at the top. I'm gonna do this in a different order. All right. Awesome. We'll do it right now. Because otherwise I will forget. And we'll pull up your YouTube channel. Then we can go to um, the next thing on the list, which is going to be another which name you want on here? You got a bunch of them. Whoops. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but just trust me, I'm making mistakes. I gotta remember how to do this. Nope. Nope. Yep. There we go. All right. So, this cat is not clear at all. Oh, look at this. We didn't have a namespace in here. That blows my mind. It's like usually, it's griefing me the whole time. No, my cat is not clear, and it also it will change how it acts depending. The only thing it's clear about is if I open a can. If I open like a can, like canned soup or something, it's over there, and um, it clearly wants um, the food. It wants some sort of canned food, which I gave it. I used to give it occasionally, but it never. It started to become a monster, so I stopped doing it. Let's fix a couple more of these. You want this to be readme, huh? How? All right, let's see what it does. Read only, I mean. That's not going to work, though, because aren't we doing something? My music stopped for no apparent reason. Oh, it's mad because I changed YouTube accounts. YouTube's got to track everything you do so they can sell your data. While we're here, we'll do that. Let's test this. Guess it works. Let's get rid of these other ones. I hate these things. They drive me crazy. It doesn't fail, though. I think it wants me to do this. No, it doesn't want me to do that. What does it want me to do here? For each statement, implicitly converts node to I'm curious. Will that work? I guess it is a node. Oh man, this cat would jump all over unattended food if it could. It doesn't go on counters. It's weird for a cat. It doesn't go on high things. Um, cats generally like to get on the top of stuff. This cat does not do that, and this is part of my theory that it's been abused. Uh, oh, and I know what this thing it wants me to do. That. Um, it never would get even on my bed for the longest time until, and you know, I would put it. It doesn't like being picked up either, but sometimes I'd pick it up and like put it on there because it's like you can lay on the bed, dude. And it took a long time for it to figure out that it was okay for it to be on the bed. So like I said, I think that something happened to this cat, and then it goes home, and then it happens again, and it comes back. I met the owner, and he was a jerk. He was a total jerk. And then he has another cat that's I'm gonna call him roommates. Another cat that he at his real house that he lives with, and that cat would get on top of stuff. Um, they have like 150 cats. There's like this whole saga about these cats that live in the neighborhood. They're all owned by the same person, and one of them uh, was like licking its legs so much that its hair was coming off. And so I texted him because they all have collars. Well, this one doesn't anymore because I took it off because they put a thing. Anyways, they put one of those harnesses on it, and it was like legs were caught up and stuff. Uh, so I texted him and I said, like, look, your cat is licking itself so much it needs to go to a vet that its hair is coming off. And they were like, um, oh man, I gotta connect a signal. I just dawned on me. I gotta connect a signal to another thing. I guess we do have to put a script on this. I was wondering if we were going to. We're gonna do a new script here. And they said, sure, we'll come pick it up. Have you seen this other cat, Peter, which is this cat? And I was like, yes, this cat is always at my house. Like, you can get it too, but it attacks. They attack each other on site. Well, he attacks the other. Right? It's such a long story. But when I went to find the phone number for this cat, because I thought that the other cats were owned by different cats, the phone number was already in my phone from me texting them about other cats. So that's when I learned all of these cats in the neighborhood are owned by the same person. The wife really likes the cats. Doesn't seem like the husband likes the cats. Uh, I don't have any proof, but besides him seeming like a total jerk. So I imagine there's some kind of like the cat wife has the 1,000 cats, and the husband's like chucking them out the door, knocking them off the beds. Yeah, and it's like I picked up some junk mail, which is kind of like a newspaper, and the cat just bolted. I was like, oh my god, someone's like beating it with newspapers. The whole thing. All right, so these things are going to need a script because they don't exist. And then a signal will connect them to the script, and the script will open up the panel. So this little, we already have a script named that, and now I don't want this script to be named that. Now we have a scene named that. We don't have a script named that. All right, this is perfect. Let's just put this in the right spot. And this one I'm calling UI. We'll get rid of the UI. I was doing that in Unity, and I don't think it's necessary if it's in its own folder. We don't need this shit. We might need this shit. We don't need this shit, definitely. We might need this shit for... You click that button, how's it gonna know? We're gonna need it to know on ready. That what it's being clicked, what it's being shown. We don't have that panel created yet. How is it going to get that? We're going to have to get it. We're going to have to get node. So this is going to be, well, let's create that panel so that we know what it's called and shit. So that we're still on the research control. This control, let's go down here. This control is that. How do we want this description to go? We could actually leave this. We could actually put this. We could put another. Container in here. That way we don't have to have an additional close button. And that was actually kind of weird in the last one. In the Unity one, there was 2 close buttons, and you could see the close button through the other one. It was bizarre. And it always bothered me, but I was just like, fuck it, let's just keep going. So let's do, not there. Let's see how this looks. Well, it looks bad. We want this to be in here, I think, to save this. Oh, I see what we did. We just winged it. We just didn't give a shit. All right. So we should probably fix this. So what I want to do is just move this down. Exactly. I just want to move this down, the top of this down a little bit. We might need this. You know what we could do? It's more than 50. Oh, but then we lose our. How did we have this before? This is at 26. All right, we're gonna fix this. It's gonna be a little. We're gonna put another. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put another inside here. We're gonna put a margin thing. I think this is what I want to do at least. We're gonna have to test our other stuff as well. And this will be in here. This will be in here. So we need. And I've never changed this part. I was looking at that button, but what I'm gonna do is change this so that this panel container is clear. Oh wait, and this research thing needs to be like that, and then we'll make this panel container clear if I knew how to do it. Well, I can figure it out. No, maybe I can't, but let me try here. Focus, mouse, input, theme. Do I have to do a new theme? No. It's this, I think. Oh, this has margins on it too. Oh, you know, we messed with this another time and used this. All right, that's not changing anything that I thought it would change. Let's go back. All right, that's layout. Obviously, tooltip, focus. I think it's got to be this panel thing. Oh, you know what we can do, actually? Is just delete this. And as long as this is, oh, but this isn't inside the margin container. No, it is. We just can't tell it is. We're still going to need that panel container we do need that. That was for the description. So that works, but is this going to affect if we put a label in here? I bet you it does. I mean, I'm just going to put a label as a test. It's a very small test. All right, there's our test. And then if I put this thing, though, where the fuck was I? Modulate? Yeah, that controls everything in there, which is actually something that's going to be probably useful later. Modulate versus... Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so thank you. So we'll turn that self-modulate to nothing. And let's make sure this looks right, because it's going to look weird, you know, when we have it selected and stuff. We're going to leave this open, even though it's going to look like shit when we do this. It's just for the test here. It's it's going to be behind, like, the buttons or something. Actually, it should be on top of the buttons, I think. So that's what it's supposed to... I know that... Oh, wait, is it supposed to look like this? It is, but it isn't. This is what we want to do. We want this. I think we're going to want to turn these off, actually. When, it's the rhetorical questions. That controls the whole thing, though. Turn this back on. We need to be at remote. All right, I'm gonna have to put this on my other screen. So you won't be able. There's got to be a way to pin this to the top, but I'm not gonna mess with it. So that is, we're gonna want to turn off this research item thing when this comes up. When this panel comes up, which isn't that hard because we already have it. We already have it right here. So let's write that little part first here. This is on the button. This script is attached to the button. So the first thing we're going to need, we actually don't need anything. We don't need this ready. The first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to put a signal in here. That same signal for, well, we got to go to the right spot. We got to be editing the right thing, right? No, I wasn't trying to make it all on top. I was just trying to decide if. So basically, a lot of what I did was pointless. That's the long story short. So I could have had another panel container with. I mean, this actually could be in here. Either way, I could have just had two separate things because I have to turn the things off anyways. But whatever. We're gonna have to turn this off, and it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it was, yes, it was. There was a lot of pointless stuff there. So we need a signal on here, and then when on button release, I'm on the wrong thing. On button up, we're going to. Yes, on button up, we're going to run something called open. We're going to need private void open research description panel, I suppose. And this is going to go to player. Where did I put that shit? Because we actually probably want to move. I think I put it under player UI. Well, we'll just type in here. Was it UI? No, it was player UI. No, I don't even have a thing for it. I guess I don't have an instance of it. Get out of here for a second. Let's see. Scripts. What script is attached to here? I guess I don't have a player UI script. Was that I'm now confusing the games. It's going to be under top bar controls, I think. Which I guess I should have clicked on over here. Where did we just put that one thing? That was in the research. I guess this is a still research. Whoops. I guess this is still research, so we should. We should use it from here. Yeah, I guess we'll do that instead of having one at the top. That's the main thing. We're gonna have to do an instance of this though. So that that thing can call it. Oh man, now I gotta try to remember how ready goes. Let's see. Oh no, I have one. This, and I'm gonna put a space there. Yeah, I'm gonna get into the resources after I have more time to fuck around with them because I'm still not sure how it's gonna work. When I did skills for the Hex Demon game in Unity, I used scriptable objects, but they needed to change slightly, and so I had this weird shit, and I'm worried about that happening in resources. So basically, I need to in one of these games fuck around with it while I'm not streaming, so it's not 3 hours of me fucking around with the same thing over and over. I mean, and that's what I do anyways, but um, then we'll do this. We'll go back to here, and we'll go to here, and we're gonna go right. Honestly, it is. I mean, even though that's the saying for, you know, research control, I believe, uh, for bad things happening, but it honestly is the way that I learn stuff too. Research item parents show. Oh, except this isn't, we don't want the parent of this thing. We don't want that thing. We want a new thing. We're just going to put a few items here. What did I make? This can be private. We're not doing that thing. This is going to be, well, what did we do? A panel container. And we're going to call it research description panel. Then back over here, Jesus Christ, all that for this one thing. I was just thinking, we are going to need another close button. Motherfucker. I was so happy to not have two close buttons, but we're going to need another close button actually. That would close this thing, the description panel, so you can go back to the list of your research. So it's gonna, you click on your research, whatever, garden shack, and then the description of it comes up, and you close that to go back to the list. So that's not the end of the world or anything. It just wouldn't be nice to have less buttons. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm actually gonna call this research. It doesn't go here though. It doesn't go here at all. This is done. What we need it to be is we need another script attached to. Actually, this is not done. This is on button up. We want it to connect to here. I'm trying to think. Oh, we also need to hide the parent thing. Item. What the fuck do we call this thing? Research. I know it has the word parent in it. Parents. Oh, I made it private again. Man, like even stuff like that, like back in the good old days of Unity, when I was first learning that, it would have been like an eternity me trying to figure out why that wasn't working. But now I'm like, oh, there's something like even that is you like for me, I gotta have the errors happen 9,000 times. Um, Man, I was thinking I'm visiting my parents on Thanksgiving, and I was thinking about they sure like the third degree about everything in my life, even when it's completely unimportant. I have my computer that I stream video games on is in my basement. This is an example. And my mom was like, "Where did you put the new computer?" This is like yesterday. I bought that computer like 6 months ago. And she was like, so I was like, oh, I put it in the basement. And she's like, why did you put it in the basement? And I was like, that's just where the space was for it. And she's like, what are you doing in the basement? And it's like, here comes the third degree. Oh, it's like, oh, just enough. Um, let's see. This thing, yeah. uh, One day she was giving me the third. This is like 20 years ago, probably more, like 25 years ago. She was giving me the third degree on this girl. She's like, "So are you dating? Blah blah. When did you last go on a date with her?" Like all these questions, and it was like after like the 30th question, I was just like, "Mom, I banged her last night at my house. Is that what you want to know?" And she's just like, "That is not what I wanted to know." And I was like, "So stop asking all these questions." And she was like, "Ugh." She's like, "Do you want to know when me and Leonard have sex?" And I was like, "No, Leonard's my stepdad." And I was like, "No, but like, I'm also not giving you the third degree on everything." Um, like my parents are great, but it is annoying to get the third degree on everything. So what were we doing? I got sidetracked telling stories. We're gonna connect this button. That's what we were doing, and we have a thing with the word button in it, so my eyes can find it. There we go. Easy peasy. Then let's see if that works. I said it was easy though. My mom's 50th birth. Oh, we got this thing on top, huh? Let's turn that off first. It shouldn't be open. And we're gonna need to rename this stuff as well because I have no idea what all this shit is. Oh, I never dragged over that thing. That is here. And let's rename this. This is the research description. And that label is just a temporary label. See, works great. And that looks like it works great, but it doesn't. Okay. We need another close button. So we can start with the close button, actually. You know what we could probably do to make sure it's the right size is copy this thing, put it in here, and what is different? Did I manually stick that down there? I think I did. Well, where is this thing attached to? It's inside the research thing. We want it to be like here. Oh, that's research button 2. I grabbed the wrong, or close button 2. I grabbed the wrong one. I guess it doesn't really matter. This one needs to have a different signal though. Oh, you know what though? Now they're like a gigantic button across the bottom. You know what we can do? No, it doesn't matter. Just making sure all those look right. Yeah, these oh, because I moved this into a margin container. That is why these, and they were sitting outside of it before. So I think this exact thing was happening in Unity. There's an easier way to do this. Go back to where you were. You go away. This was here, I think. But we actually want it on the bottom. You turn, I think. No, it was under here. Maybe it's not going to be an easier way to do it, but it's a way to do it. Let's look at this thing's research. Yeah, I'm hoping that because like 4.2, it looks like they did a lot of work. I'm hoping this momentum continues with Godot and that people keep leaving Unity. I still think people are just going back to it. I don't know if I probably mentioned that like 20 times. Research control is what's getting closed. So I had an idea here. If we put this at the bottom, so we actually, I think it was here, but we want it at the bottom so that I want it. Where did I, now it's gone. I put it somewhere weird. We don't want it there. Okay, this is the spot we want it. Wait, no, we don't. We want it to be like here. There we go. Maybe this is a bad idea. My idea is that we could have the button say, like, if this is visible, do this. If that's visible, do that. So the button would work in both particular circumstances. 50 seems small, but it also seems good. And since it's at the bottom, it should come out on top of everything, I think. I think that's how that works. That's also in Unity, you're the same, that it goes from the bottom up for UI stuff. The fuck am I listening to? This is actually good. Never heard of this. Sick Shit is the name of the song. Uh, this doesn't have a script on it. How is I was just doing a signal? No, it does. It's the close button is on probably research control. So this should, I think this will work. My idea here is we would say like research panel description visible. I did it again. I thought I was over that thing. All right, so if the description panel is visible when you hit the close button, well, we can leave that there, but we need a copy of it. Then you would say research. You would hide it. Else, you're gonna hide this thing. And then that, no, this would only apply to here. I was wondering how I was like, why doesn't the keyboard turn this stuff on? Earlier I was thinking this, if the keyboard, I was like, why isn't the keyboard working when I have this panel open? I was like, did we already do that or is it looks like we already did that. It's one of these ones I don't know how to get rid of yet. Let's go back to here. Well, now we'll run through everything that we've done so far. Yeah, this 4.2 upgrade hasn't been any issues at all, which is good. My pause button is working again. Okay, they both opened up, but I think that might just be that actually worked how we wanted, except they were both opened up. I think I just had this. Yeah, this was just this was open is the issue with that. Let's do this again. We need to test our buttons too again. We need to have it open up the buttons. Yeah, because I said that it was easy to switch over to 4.2. This starts crashing. All right, that works. Well, I didn't test the last thing. That works. We've made so much more progress this time. Oh, that would be so brutal. So I had this happen once with Unity, and I still don't know if it was like I fucked something up in GitHub or something. Uh, like I was doing, I like merged something or did something. I don't know what happened, but so everything in Unity that I had typed in or attached, you know, like I attached stuff in here, like I assigned things, all of those things, every variable that I had updated, like for like monsters, names, and things, when I started it, all that shit was missing one day. And I had to go through and tediously reconnect everything. So, like I said, I don't know if it was a Unity thing or what, but I was so bummed. It was like an hour of debugging where just things were not connected. Now I'm curious why this isn't connected. Let's let's see. I haven't clicked on a county in a long time. Let's click on a county and see what happens. It is busted. We're getting all sorts of bugs because this thing isn't connected. This is probably something I like rename something. We want this to be connected to here, and we want this to be connected to county. Oh, you know why this isn't connected? Is because we turn these into scenes. Now let's do this. Where was that? It was in the main. At least our clicking was working. I'm thinking, do I want this to close when this thing opens? Maybe. It doesn't really matter. Let's put it in. Let's put it in our project. We actually need to add a couple of things. Um, All right, so first one. Oh, I turned these into issues? I wonder why I did that. I wonder if I can turn them off from being issues. Unissue it. Doesn't look like easily. We'll just not worry about it. So next round, load research either from disk or as a resource. So this is definitely going to be a thing we're going to want to do because we're going to have a lot of research. So that's going to be for the next round of research. Should the county info panel get closed? Oh man, thank you. It's you get into it. We've talked about this before many times. After the 2 hour mark though, I definitely noticed that my mental strength, that's my stat that I use for roles when I'm programming. My wisdom, I don't know, wisdom, intelligence, it starts going downhill. I start getting debuffed as time goes. We're doing video game talk only. uh, and should the county info panel get closed when the research panel opens? All right, this I'm not going to turn into an issue because it's kind of a thought process thing here. Man. So, yeah, I guess I'll take a break. Then we're going to do, well, let's put the next thing. So we have something that we can mark off as done in here, even though we did do a bunch of stuff. Generate text in the research description panel. So we're going to need to, this is going to be kind of a pain because we have that list, but it needs to know. So maybe we'll rename the node to a number. That would actually work pretty easily. All right, I'm going to pause my music, throw up my break timer, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. I had to stop and pet the cat. He was lobstering it, you know, where they like stick they fold in half. And they look like a lobster or a shrimp. He required it, you know, he was sleeping, but it was a requirement that I pet him. I had no choice. It had to happen. Okay, so now we got to figure out how to do this. I think what we're gonna have to do is name the node here. We'll put it right here. Let's do it before we add it. Does it matter? Probably not. But we'll put it research item dot name equals I. Can we two string, I suppose? Okay, so that will make it the number of the research item on the list. Then when you click the description panel, it will know what thing is there. We're gonna need to rename. Well, this label can work for now. We're gonna have to add a script to this thing though. Um, no, absolutely not. That's what is this clusterfuck? Oh, these are recent. I was like, are these two? Wait, are these? I thought I had two UI things in there. This is quite a long name. We could do that. We could get rid of this container word though. So not on ready. We're gonna do the same. I'm using this a lot. I don't know if this is the correct way to do it, but it works for me. Visibility changed. We're gonna say uh, on visibility changed, and what we gotta put a thing here. We gotta do a private void, and I just fuck this all up. And then we're gonna namespace this shit so it doesn't complain. Because it likes to complain. Look at that, it said serializable. That's weird. Okay, there we go. And then we're on visibility change, we're going to actually need something else first. We're gonna need an int in here. Oh, actually, you know what? We don't need to rename those things. We can just have an int in here. We click that. Yeah, we can just have an int in here. And I don't think we even need it exposed. We can just have last research clicked. It needs to be public though. And then we would put, oh yeah, and then on here, oh, we do need the name here. Research clicked equals name. Whoa. Get parent actually. Name. Okay, it doesn't like this. Well, this it doesn't like either, so let's fix this. Globals.instance. This happens to me occasionally. Did I turn off my break timer? I did. Oh, I need to put what it is, I think. Invalid cast. It's going to be... Let's cancel this for a second. A panel container. Oh, it still doesn't like that. This is a whatchamacallit, though. It wants the... I have to forget parent I gotta do? Oh, I guess I do. Like that? I normally don't have to put that in there. An object to the... a lot of times what I'll do is I'll... a lot of times I'll do it on a different line and then it will work. Like if I say, like, you know, there's a panel container here and I'll say research panel equals get parent. All right, it doesn't like that. Because this is just going to return the button, and I don't want an object reference is required for... Oh, it's this thing again. Good God. No? This is panel. Container. There we go. I wonder if this will work now. Copy. I just need the fucking name, man. Yeah, it was a container. Whoops, too far back. Then this needs to, what is it? I haven't done this in a long time. I guess I can make it a string. Whoops. It's not that. I can't remember how. Parse int. Parse int. It's been a very long time. Let me look. I skipped a song that was... It was it was called I Want to Destroy Riot Girls. It was like somebody offended by Riot Girls. Oh God. I don't think it's... Oh, it is this. Okay, here we go. Some somebody's all right, no it can't. That's a different one that's complaining about. All right, so this is gonna be an int. That's fine. That's what we want. Then this is the thing it's complaining about. And we need to copy this or I'll forget. We need to have this here. Research description. Then it's going to... We have a label in there. We're going to need a label here. A private label. I guess we can say research name. And then we would go research name text is going to equal. Where did we put that fucking list? Research control instance research item. The fuck did we call it? Is it private? It's probably private. Research item list. What do we call that thing? Like, my memory is so fucking bad. That was like 3 minutes ago. Do we need a toString here? We need actually research name to be there. Jesus fucking Christ. I still don't understand why I'm getting all these when I stop stuff. You know, Unity did something like that too, and it would always drive me insane. So this we need to build. I'm going to continue to, you know, the day that I stop comparing stuff to Unity is probably going to be a good day now that I think about it, because it will mean that I've fully moved over. You know, I've moved over from the. Exactly, exactly. All right. So now we should be able to like click on this. There we go. That actually, you know, I noticed this is, I tried to zoom in to the text. We probably need to turn that off as well. Oh, that's weird, but that's okay. I tried to zoom in the text. I noticed the text seems clearer, larger. Once again, comparing to Unity, I don't know if it's because the Unity has that play thing where you're like looking at a like a simpler version, and this is the actual game. You know, I mean, I know it's in debug mode. All right, we're gonna need to fix a couple of things though here. That was just like a test here. What we need to fix is this needs to be at the top. Now I was going to say, how high is that going to go? That's honestly perfect. It's gigantic as fuck, though. What happens if we do like 24? That's probably good enough. Then we're going to need another. This isn't going to be a text label, though. I think this is going to be something new. I kind of like doing new stuff because it means I'm going to learn something. Well, it means I'm going to attempt to learn something. Maybe it is just a label because it's going to be like a paragraph. I think it's just a big label. Oh, we had a debug issue and I didn't notice. Let's see when that happened. Oh shit, we don't want that open though. That's going to probably cause issues. Yeah, we're going to close this. You know, that's the beautification process. I think that's what we want. Now I'm keeping an eye for the debug. Okay, there it is. It happened there. $11. Wait, what was the script? Research item button. It says it's an invalid cast, but it's obviously working. Oh, this is a VBox container. Is that what this thing is? Oh, it is. I clicked on it. It didn't like tell me any information but the picture. No, it is a panel container. Am I pulling this? Where did it get the right information from then? This should actually not be panel. This should be the button. Whoops. Is it not? Where is this research item button? Oh, it doesn't need to get the all that. Fucking A. I gotta look behind me before I roll back. All that and all I needed to do was get the name. Oh, I still needed to parse it. I was thinking I was on the button, but the script isn't on the button. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, it worked the second time. So we click the button. Yeah, this song's bad too. We click the button. It's setting the button to be that. Oh, is this one of those things where this is happening that, oh my God, this used to happen in fucking Unity too. The panel opens faster than uh, the variable can get to it. You know, there's an easy way to look. We can just put in here. Whoa. Research description panel. I like to put exclamations and exclamation points and everything these days. Let's put this name there as well. There's no space, and that's gonna... It's unimportant, but once again, drive me crazy. Yeah, so the panel opens faster than the thing can get to it. This totally isn't happening in Unity. This must be like a thing. This must be a thing that I I forgot how the I forgot how the I should have had all of these. Um uh yeah, I don't so that's the same as in C sharp and it so there's different times that I use that. If it's just one variable, I just stick it with a plus on there. If it's like a sentence, then I start using the squigs way. That's what I call that. Is the squigs way. Uh, it's more work to go back and add. For me, it's more work to go back and add the thing. There we go. So the problem is though that that happens after. So what we got to do probably this is how I would fix it in Unity, and I always said that I think there's even comments in my code. I may have taken them out in the Unity version. Would be like this. There has to be a like this is the shitty way to do this. So what we're gonna have to do is like have it wait a frame. Sorry, my thing's over the half over. Um, yeah. See, is point one the time? Like, is it like point one of a second, or is it like wait one frame? See, I've always felt like that I'm doing something wrong when I do that, and I started using is the time, and I started doing that kind of a lot in Unity, and every time, uh, I still felt like it was wrong, even, and then I just gave up. Like I still felt like it was wrong, but I would still do it. Um, Holy shit! One on Stack Exchange. I've never seen a Godot thing on. Maybe I have, and I just didn't notice. But I generally idle frame. And you have to put that await thing at the front of it, huh? This is Stack Exchange. What about Stack Overflow? What? It's less, I'm less impressed with it now. Okay, so we want this. Get tree something. Idle. What are my options here? Sometimes it's just there and it's just named different. Create timer. Um, I was just in the back of my mind, it was floating around the thing I was talking about earlier where the people were switching from Unity. I hope they stay in Godot. I also like have no friends who used Unity or Godot. They all, they don't program games basically. They do different stuff. Um, and it'd be interesting to see what they think and if they're going to switch over. But like I said, I don't have any friends. So, okay, where's this? I see create timer. What does this do? Oh, there's a signal. What is this person? Let's read this a little more. How old is this? Oh, I thought it said 11 years ago. It's running pretty stable compared to 2, 3 months ago. Here's a slight tweak. Does the same thing without a string. I don't like strings. But this thing had a problem with, do I need to add something? Mark async, huh? I don't want it to be asynchronous, though. Is that just something I have to do? So I have a friend who does JavaScript, and I was messing around with JavaScript. I'm like, why am I struggling with this asynchronous stuff? And he's like, everybody hates it. It's awful. And so now I just avoid it. I don't know if he does C++ too, and he knows a bunch of languages. Um, and it's weird. So we're probably, I was looking at this like, let's try this at the top though. I think it's going to want to be at the top. Oh, they added async at the end. That's nice of them. Oh, and it's a task? What the fuck is this shit? Uh, yeah. So let's see. This was a signal. Let's see if we fuck that up. This button needs to be changed to this. And then we'll see what happens. And then if this works, the thing is that I'll have an example of how to do this for the 100,000 times I'm going to have to do this. I still feel like it's wrong. Like I need to just rearrange my code somehow, and eventually the puzzles will fit together. Now it doesn't do anything, which is probably not what we want it to do. We probably want it to do something. Button up. Let's make sure we're on the, whoops, we're on the right script. We are. It didn't give me any errors. I don't know. Let's get rid of it. Ace, can I just void this thing? Let's do it like that. Maybe that was a Visual Studio thing. I don't know what I clicked on. I thought I clicked on this one. All right, I gotta pay attention. Okay, so that was still, it's not working though. It's still the one after. I kind of like this song. What am I listening to right now? Oh, this is that same as that other band, Together Pangea. This song's called Alive. Okay, it's good punk rock. Um, what happens if we put this back here? I don't know what this is though. Yeah, it's behind one still. How the fuck do I do this? It's the signal from the scene tree when the process function part of it should be the name of this thing. What is this song? Returns a new signal awaiter. Waiter configured to complete when the instance source emits the signal. Oh. It's still happening too fast. I don't want it when it, so I want it to like skip a frame, I guess. Yeah, I just want it to, what is this? This is similar. Hey, this person's going to 4.2 6 months ago. They were ballsy. Did we already try this? I feel like we already did this. It doesn't? Oh, this is the. Oh, so a lot of times, now I'm being able to guess, but we have to have this two signal thing in there, huh? Yeah. It's not working though. I don't want it to do. I don't want the end of the frame. I need it the frame after that. I guess I could have it wait a certain amount of time. I'm seeing if there's any. It's always the little stuff. Oh, here's that create timer thing. Well, what are my. Oh, okay, so this one guy, let's go back to this thing. Process frame. What is our other options here? Whoops. It's not much. Tree changed. Script changed. Maybe that's like a. If we put uh was there an underscore? I think there was an underscore. Whoops. I keep clicking on this. I'm gonna move this over here. You know, you guys don't need to hear me talk about ad blocker and YouTube on. I message everybody I knew. Fucking ad blocker doesn't work on YouTube. Okay, so it's not idle frame is not the. Or wait, did I not do this? This didn't give us an error. So it's another way I could do this. I could have a timer. The thing with like 1.1 of a second sometimes is noticeable is the issue. Oops. um, Trying to think if there's another way that I can do this so it applies that. There is another way we could do it. It would be bizarre. How would we do that? We could do it with a getter setter. So when that thing changes, it updates the. But the panel wouldn't. Well, it is existing before. Um, here's your YouTube channel. Godot. Wait for something to happen. We could do it. Let me think. If we go, is this on visibility change? It is. What happens if we put that await thing over here? We're going to need that async thing. I think it was here. Like I said, it's always the little things. Oh, well, 0 isn't going to help us because it's. All right, that actually is working. Oh, look at that. It changed while I was looking at it. I don't think it's actually going to do that. So that works there. I'm going to put this back to that other way, though, so I don't have a text in there if I can find it. It was like 2 signal. Maybe I can remember with my shitty brain. It was like 2 signal dot. It was green. I can't. My shitty brain doesn't want to. Now that's your YouTube channel. Um, it was this one. It was this thing. It's kind of weird that I can see it, but I bet you it wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to see it once it's compiled. I guess compiled isn't the right word. Um, so let's see. Yeah, Garden Shack's a good. See that one? I couldn't see it. So I just had it in the wrong thing. The wrong thing was waiting. Is that, yeah, I was making it worse with the waiting, with that wait there. We need to, this can go back. I'm surprised we weren't getting, I guess it wasn't. We can do this. Yeah, it in the wrong area. Once again, I was the problem all along. Okay, we can save this. I'm only like streaming for like 10 more minutes, but I think we can add this other label. I think we have time for that. It's gonna be really easy. Now that I've fucked myself. What we're gonna do? Does this thing is? I think it's just gonna expand on its own. And what we would do, I think we're gonna need another margin container, but we don't need it this second. This is just gonna be, we can half-ass it. Well, we're half-assing the whole thing. We can quarter-ass this one, and then next time we can make it better. Exactly, right? Um, what? Oh, I just named it description. I was gonna rename that, but I think the reason why I started renaming the names and from name is because there's everything has name in it. And I don't want to. I don't want to have to differentiate just with like a lowercase name versus an uppercase or vice versa. And so I'm gonna leave it like that. This thing. Let's see what the fuck this says. I don't even remember what I put in. I just copied them over earlier. Whoops. Well, there it is. Oh, that's not. I thought it could say, this is a fucking piece of shipper shit shack or something. That's kind of what we wanted, but not really. And we also had some stuff open we shouldn't have. This shouldn't be open, and this shouldn't be open, except we need this open, and we need this open, and we need this text to be different. So I am not in the right spot. I guess we want this centered just so I can see this. Oh, it's right in front of my face. I do want word. Exactly. Um, Man, some of these songs. So I'm listening to some weird YouTube mix from YouTube Music actually because you suggested using that. Never used that in my life. I would always just use and it puts some mixes are fucking awful. I don't know how they got like they'll have like one, there will be a song with one woman will be singing, and then after that, all of them will be like progressively like more like hippie, like so it'll be like the song will start out with like a punk rock with a female vocalist, and then each song after that will be more hippie until it's like the female vocalist is not, it's not punk rock at all. Just and it's like 5 songs in. I'm like, how are they getting this? Like they're trying to guide me to this. Um, but this one is like all punk rock stuff. Some of it's bad, but it's generally like some of this stuff is probably new. And I'm like one of those old farts who's like, I don't want. Yeah, this one's from 2016. Well, there's no ads. So I'm staring at this with a blank look on my face because this kind of looks cool that this is on top of this, but it's not the way we want this. What we'll have to do is we'll put another panel in here with a margin and shit with a description. But we're not going to do that today. Let's close all this stuff. And the time turned back on? It did. What happens if we turn this on? Oh, time came back on. No. That's the problem with that pause and pause thing being there. Did we get rid of that stuff? Clock. Or did I just comment it out? I think we're going to need that. That's the... I knew that there was... Yeah, I knew there was going to be an issue at some point. But we can deal with that later. Let's do this. Was it flashing at the bottom? Let's update some of these things. This is done. So we can close that issue. I like to have at least one thing that I can mark off. Look how long it takes for that thing to go away. So the next, but we're going to add like a couple of things here. Description, research, description should have its own panel with margins and shit. That's it. That's the whole issue. So I'll put this up here. We'll do this next time. I'm starting to finally grasp the UI a little bit better. I still suck, but it's not like it wasn't like 2 weeks ago, last week, 5 minutes ago. So we got to do that. We have a bug, which is when if the game is paused and you open the research panel, the game unpauses. But we knew that this was going to happen. It was that. That's going to go at the top. Then, is there anything else we needed to... Exactly. I can't believe that this close thing was a better solution. So like there is some good stuff coming out of this change. Like like I think that like there are good things. Like instead of having 2 close buttons, you gotta take the little things. All this stuff still works. These are going to be different colors eventually. We're going to add a third one in there soon. But I think that's everything. Top bar, we're still working on. Research buttons work with a research item list. That's all we did. That was it. All right. Well, that is it for me today. Thank you, Joker, for the help. Like always, have a good rest of the day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.